Oh Lord, it's Marty A. Johnson show. Tuesday comes really, really fast.
Every time.
Really,
Yes.
really, really fast. It's all good. I'm about to get it together shortly. You know how we do. Let me get my introduction together. It's a new season. So Charlene, hello. I get it together. Can you test? Are we good over there? How you feeling?
Yes, we're good.
Great.
How you feeling?
I'm amazing tonight.
Perfect. We're gonna get the show. We're gonna get this little platform started shortly. But first, let's get our introduction together. This Tuesday, on the new season of the Marty A. Johnson Show, we're back for our Tribute to the 90s, the Legends Edition. This week on the show, we're going to welcome a multi-platinum recording star and two-time Grammy Award winner, founding member of the group Arrested Development, Speech. He's going to join us here on the show. We want to catch up with him, find out about Arrested Development, solo music, and much more. So join us Tuesday, 7:30 on Facebook Live. Marty A. Johnson Show, Tribute to the 90s, the Legends Edition, with Speech from Arrested Development. I see you there. Do y'all like that?
Hey.
Yes.
New season. We're not
Yes.
messing up this season.
Classic.
So y'all caught that? That's our special guest for tonight. Work with me here while I get it together really shortly. We don't have a lot of time. I guess y'all got the memo today. Everyone's wearing red. we got the memo. I'm gonna open it up very, very shortly. We gotta tap in real quick. First off, we got the memo. Everyone here is in red. Charlene, are you feeling great? You got the girls with you today, huh?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
You got the girls. Hello. So listen, I want to remind everyone as I get together shortly, the Marty A. Johnson Show, we're heading to Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
A-Town.
Wow. Working. But Charlene, you going too, huh?
Yes, of course. I gotta
Lavelle.
keep y'all straight.
Lavelle texted my personal phone, called me and said, I haven't missed this.
No,
So I'm definitely coming.
that's
So I'm about to open it up shortly. Work with me here. So our special guest is coming. Lavelle, are you excited for Atlanta?
I'm very excited. I am very excited. I think it's going to be a legendary time. A
It
time
really is.
in history going to be made. The show.
Now, I'm telling you, I have to go prior to. I have to go prior to, but I'm going to meet up with the crew later. I signed an NDA, so I really can't tell the whole thing. So but Charlene, tell me who we're going to go see first off.
Troy Oliver.
Ooh,
Boom.
Yes.
what he say? He got the studio already.
We're going to the studio. We already got the time set aside for us.
He said no. He said we got y'all locked and ready. I said, don't worry, buddy. We will be there quickly. Lavelle, you excited?
I'm very excited. I'm just going to be humbled by the experience. I'm just looking forward to it.
Well, good. I'm about to multitask really quick because we're gonna tap in. I'm gonna open up all my settings in a minute, so don't text my personal phone. So we gotta. This is the Legend Edition. Hold on. Arrested Development, is that legendary, Lavelle? First off,
Speech is for sure a legend. I would say that straight up.
okay. Charlene, what about you?
Yeah, most definitely.
You agree?
Yes, I do agree.
Oh, good. So we're gonna tap in with some of my friends, and like I said, he's coming on any moment, so we gotta tap in really quick, very, very, very quickly, and share this with your boy. I'm gonna open it up shortly, so we gotta tap in first. If they're an artist, they want to send their music. Charlene, where they need to send it to?
Marty A. Johnson 4 at gmail.com. That's Marty A. Johnson 4 at gmail.com.
What type of music are we looking for, please?
Listen, we don't care if it's tap, jazz, reggae, hip hop, alternative rock. Make sure that it's your greatest work and not your latest.
That's it.
Think the greatest work, not your latest work. Marty A. Johnson, email.com, as Charlene just said. Let's get it.
All right, let's get here. We're gonna tap in real quick because the legend, he is coming shortly. We actually gonna do it. I think I'm gonna change everything in a minute. Work with me here. And y'all ready? Make sure my audio
Ready?
Make sure everything's right. Okay, perfect. Y'all ready?
Mhm.
What's up, Marsha Ambrosius? It's the Marty A. Johnson Show. Girl, you know I met you in Miami not too long ago. We gotta chop it up, talk about the new album that you're working with Dr. Dre. In the meantime, Charlene, we have Bree. Hey, Bree.
Hi, Bree.
Bree is doing one of her rendition of, this is a classic too. She's doing her rendition of Far Away.
Ooh. Okay, Bree girl, bring it. Bring it, baby.
Lavelle, let's be fair with Bree here. This definitely is a big record here.
Huge.
But if we're not feeling this girl here, what's gonna happen?
Bree getting the cut. Sorry about that.
We don't hear this till when, y'all.
Right now.
So now.
Come on, girl.
So sad to see you go so soon. In the beginning, everything was cool. Till the end of it all is so bad. I know I play my part in making it what it is. And I know that you
Tap in.
say, guess I'm out of here. I'm moving on again. I'm sure that you will understand. I play by the rules.
Charlie, you rocking with it?
Yes, so far.
Easier to say, 'cause I was by your side when you went through the pain. I guess it doesn't matter now.
Lavelle, don't frown your face up.
Far away. You say you're so, I can't believe that you're far away. Can't get you out of my mind, pull you out of my life. I can't believe you're so far away. And you're moving away. You're baby, you're just so far away. I can't believe it.
We're being fair now.
Don't know what I wanna do. No days and counting, I believe it's staring at myself in the mirror all alone in my room. I can't feel the sweat. Gotta think with my head, my heart is what got me here. So hurt from what you done. You don't need enough breathing from me. Can I give you my word? You put your trust in me. It's supposed to be the one.
Charlene. We gave it 2 minutes. That's a long time.
Yes, we did. We did. Yeah, she was struggling with the higher range notes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Lavelle, you was quick to cut it. First off, did this make the cut for you or hell no?
No, I think she started out okay. And Charlene battle.
Sorry, Bree. Womp womp. In the meantime, Marsha Ambrosius, please tap all the way in. Remember, you were a friend of this show. Remember, in case you forgot, this is Marty A. Johnson Show. Get her back on here. Woo, can't tell us nothing. Okay, it's not 7:30. It's not 7:30 yet.
AP.
Hello. So look, it's still our tribute to the 90s and Legends edition. We still want to hear some brand new hot music. Lavelle, I'm so disappointed. Sometimes when you get a hot record or a bad record, that sets the whole tone of the show. Am I right or no?
Sometimes that is the case. We had crazy start, terrible record, or a not so good situation, but then we had, some great records that start off the show. So let's go on. See.
Okay. So Charlene, you want to put your vocals on this song. Then we're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, let's move on. Fisher Our Boy, so we're glad to see you. You made it. So I want to remind. So how you feeling? First off, before our special guests come.
Feeling good right now. What's up, everybody?
Hey.
That's good. Like we're in a good mood. We're sending good vibes everyone's way. Look, I want to remind y'all we are heading to Atlanta, Georgia. We're actually leaving. We're gonna be going in and out.
Yeah.
What's the favorite line? We ain't staying long, but you're gonna know we was there.
Yeah.
That part.
That's our favorite line. We're not staying long, but our presence will be known. In the meantime, let's move on. Okay, do y'all like the new setting for real? A lot of people like the new setting.
Oh, this is dope.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. Let's flip the script. I can't, because our special guest is here.
All right.
Woo! So remember, share this video with your boy. Please. Our special guest is here. Hopefully he can hear me okay. Bro, if you can hear me, throw up the peace sign. He's in the waiting room. Okay, good. I'm setting up the tone to get him on here. Because he's in the waiting room waiting. He's a legend. He's very relevant of today. Seriously.
Yes.
When my people reached out to him already, he told me wait in the background. When my people reached out to him, truth be told, immediately he said, absolutely, he want to do the show. He's one of the first. Seriously. When he comes back on the screen, I'm going to let him in. I said, throw the peace sign up if you see me. So, look, in the background, he's swagged out. I should have gave him my mailing address so I can got me, I think it says Arrested Development sweatshirt. I can't see yet, but
I know that's right.
So, okay. So let me set the premise up while I'm letting him in. Cause I think he's excited to come. So, He been watching my Instagram stories. I've been posting them and all that. He's been sharing it and all that stuff. Let me bring it in, Charlene, so don't think what? I'm lying.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put him up on the big screen to be gonna get my introduction in.
Okay.
So look, this is our tribute to the 90s. He has a spotlight right now. It's not even about me.
Come on.
As I mentioned before, this is our tribute to the 90s edition, the Legends edition. I don't even know why, because he paved the way for a lot of people. Before Drake, before Ja Rule, before the late great DMX. He's from my era. He really brought the hip hop with the singing.
Yes.
Truth be told, this is from my era. This is a fact. I didn't even know they had black people in Milwaukee. I didn't. he's from Milwaukee. I didn't even know. So when I did my research, I was like, oh, they got black folks there. He's one of the first in hip hop to bring it to Milwaukee. He moved down to Atlanta, Georgia. Before my good friends Goody Mob, who they're a friend of this show also, he was one of the first groups that really started in the late 80s, early 90s. He was one of the first before Outkast. This is facts.
Wow.
The first group that won the Grammy in hip hop. This is a fact. Speech, am I lying so far? These are all facts here.
Yeah, we were the first to win Best New Artist, I think, in the hip hop realm. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for correcting me. So we got the OG here. Speech, peace, God. I'm Marty. In case you don't know.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
How you feeling?
Good.
I'm doing
What's
great.
up, Speech?
I'm
What's
great.
up, Speech? I'm Official Raleigh Boy, the co-host.
What's up, brother co-host? It's good to meet
What's
you.
up, man?
It's
Nice
good
to meet you, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
Raleigh boy. good to
Charlene,
meet
say
you.
hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Charlene. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm great.
Good.
Speech, what it do, man?
What's up, Lavelle? It's good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
So Speech. Right now it's all about you. It's not even about us. On this platform, on the Marty A. John Show, we have entrepreneurs, rappers, singers. We have a whole panel, but we like to bring our legends on. So I'm glad you came on. So I definitely want to appreciate you. We really want to honor and just give you your roses while you're here, King, and really have really good conversation.
That's great. Well, thank you for having me on y'all show, for real.
It's a pleasure. Look, let's get the small talk out the way. I hope you don't mind, because his platform, I'm very nosy. So take me all the way back. Look, I'm gonna talk about the new music. I'm gonna talk about the Malcolm X situation. I'm gonna talk about Prince. I'm gonna talk about Deion Ferris. I'm gonna talk about the DJ Peach. I'm
Wow.
talking about it all.
Okay. Yeah.
But let's go all the way back, if you don't mind. Taking me to Milwaukee, where your family has pretty much paved that started all in Milwaukee, and I kind of see how Arrested Development formed with your family, with the being the first black newspaper company in Milwaukee. Take me back to them days and how you really get started in the game.
Well, you know, my family, my mom and dad are entrepreneurs. My father owned a nightclub. He owned a fast food restaurant at a certain point. He owned gas stations at a certain point, catering businesses, a corn roasting business, believe it or not, and a newspaper. All different times. And then my mother, she owns the largest black newspaper in Milwaukee, in Wisconsin, still to this day. It's 45 years strong. So, so activists, entrepreneurs, hiring black people, striving to empower black people, inform black people. That's been my parents since, you know, I was a child. And then my mother even adopting people, fostering kids, adopting an African young man named Bright Boateng from Accra, Ghana. So that's the whole trajectory my family was on, you know, since I was a child. So how that, you know, informed who I am as a person is like,
Peach is good. This is good.
Did he freeze?
Did he freeze up?
Yeah,
What did
he
it mean?
froze up.
Okay. Let me see. Let me let him back in.
Yeah, he froze.
Speech, come on and come back in. Hold on. Hello? I'm gonna let him out and then come back in. So look, so first off, Charlene, he's gonna come back in shortly. So look, so you know we ain't doing no false advertisement. You know he's here.
He's here. Yes.
As I mentioned before, this is our celebrity edition. What Fish Rob Boy, please tell me what other platform have legends and OGs on the platform. Tell me that you know, because you keep your ears to the streets. Who else do you know?
My ears to the street with it, but I don't think we're the only ones kind of doing what we're doing, bro. I can't say I cover all the grounds, but the ones that's visible to everybody who's looking, I haven't seen a platform like ours yet.
Not at all. Let me let speech back in. Let me let speech.
Peace. So let me just give y'all a heads up. Where I'm at in Atlanta, it's raining, and so for some reason the internet, it's a little shoddy. But anyway, what I was saying, I didn't.
We're dial-up service. I'm gonna say, what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's
raining here, so basically, you know, they helped me to understand like giving something of worth to our people is what they were all about, and it's what I wanted to be about. So when I started rapping and well, actually I started DJing first. When I started DJing, I had a crew called Attack. We were from Milwaukee. We strived to make it, and long story short, it didn't jump off the way that we hoped. And so I moved to Atlanta in 1987, and I started Arrested Development there and met my man Headliner, and then met Ishi, and just kept growing and growing from there. And that's sort of, you know, the beginnings of this crew.
Nice. Well, how it seemed like from what I hear, you had about 2 other names prior to becoming Arrested Development. So what? Hold on, DLR.
Yeah.
That acronym, DLR, and there was another one, Secret something.
Secret Society. Yeah.
Very
good research, bro. I'm
this
impressed.
Is Marty A. Johnson show.
I'm impressed. So
this is Marty A. Johnson show. I'm getting. Then I'm getting to the good stuff. I'm very thorough. We
good.
all are. But so what made you decide what the Arrested Development name?
Well, the Arrested Development name came from. I was inspired by a lot of group names at the time. You know, you had groups like Fishbone or Public Enemy or you know, the Dead Kennedys. There was a lot of these groups that just had really, I don't know, just rebellious sort of different names. And so I wanted to have something like that. And a friend of mine was doing a punk rock group, and he named the group Arrested Development. And I loved that. I was like, that is a fresh name. They ended up breaking up. And I asked him, can I use that name? Because I'm trying to start a crew. And as you just said, my crew's name at first was Disciples of a Lyrical Rebellion, DLR. And then after that, we called ourselves Secret Society, all of which was trying to, like, I don't know, hearken these, just this alternative, important image. Like, that's the vibe we were trying to go for.
Gotcha.
And Arrested Development fit that same vibe, and as far as a name was concerned. And I loved it. And I was like, yo, can I get that name? And he's like, yeah, take it. So I did, and it ended up blowing up.
I like the story, and I'm gonna shout him out also. You may not know. First off, your team is very thorough. There was when we reached out to your team to get you on the show. It was very thorough to check the receipts of the Marty A. Johnson show, making sure that we're legit and we ain't fanning out. So, so immediately they say yes. We definitely appreciate. But what I like about your story, and it really goes in hindsight of. No, you've been in the game for a long time, and you know people are like kind of shady, so to speak.
Facts.
One situation kind of had the same denominator. Really quick, and I'm get back to you.
Okay.
You've been, like I said, you've been watching me on Instagram. You haven't followed me yet, but that's okay.
Well, I have a story for that. I'll tell you. Okay. You want me to tell you now?
Delete someone off, then add me.
No, it wasn't that. So.
Go ahead.
I try to follow people on Instagram, and for some reason, it unfollows the person like immediately, and it has nothing to do with me. So I'll push follow, and it says unfollow. So I don't know what. I don't get it. I say follow again, it says unfollow. Follow again, unfollow. Okay. Something's wrong with my IG. So go ahead.
Okay. So thank you for doing that. But
that's the fact.
So as I mentioned, sometimes you meet a lot of people that kind of be shaky and a little shady and stuff like that.
Facts.
One common thing, there's a similar story how you and Headliner, because you two started Arrested Development together. You guys have the same similar story as our shout out to our good friend Anthony Hamilton. He's a friend of this show.
Okay.
He came on the show a couple months ago. He came on the show and he told us the same similar story how he got his deal from Jermaine Dupri's father, similar to yours.
Wow.
So that means he's a good dude. So while me setting it up, you tell your story. Go ahead and shout out to Anthony Hamilton.
Yes.
Anthony's cool. So yeah, I mean, Arrested Development. You know, I wanted to start a crew. I put a flyer up at Art Institute of Atlanta, which is where I went to school. And Headliner, his real name's Tim. He went to school there too. And I didn't know him. I saw him looking at my flyer, and I was like, "Yo, I'm trying to start this crew." And he was interested in being the DJ, which is what I was looking for at the time. Because I used to be named DJ Peach. And when I started rhyming more, I wanted to be known as Speech. I put an S in front of it and in front of Peach. And so he saw that I wanted to, be rhyming more. I'm looking for a DJ. And we struck it off. And we started to vibe together, started doing shows together under different names, as you know, like Secret Society, DLR. And so that's how we started. Then I knew Jermaine Dupri from the scene. All of us were striving to make it. At that point, Jermaine wasn't big yet. There was no such thing as So Def. And there was no such thing as LaFace South or any of these sort of things that would come a little later. At that time, we were just all trying to make it. So I would go over to Jermaine's house and vibe and, make music and stuff. And his father, again, trying to make it too. His name is Mike Malden. Mm-hmm. He was, at the time, I believe he was a manager or maybe just a driver or a tour manager for Brick, a legendary soul group. So he wanted to get into management. He ended up loving our music because me and Headliner and our crew back then put out a vinyl record, and he had heard the vinyl record. A really famous dude from Atlanta named Ian Burke. I say famous, he's known in the industry down here. Well, and Ian Burke was our roommate. He was me and Headliner's roommate at the time. We gave Ian one of our records. He gave it to Michael Malden. Michael Malden loved it. got back to us, started managing us, and then ultimately got us a record deal. We all just pitching it to labels in New York.
Nice. Okay, so when you got your deal, you was from the era when people had the Strawberries, the Virgin Records, actually record stores. People actually bought records.
Facts.
How was y'all advance? Would you see the money in the beginning when you first got that signed deal, or is a single deal from what I heard? You only got because they was unfamiliar with the vibe and sound you was going with.
Exactly.
At the time, the prevalent really was the gangster rap, the NWAs, and all that stuff. So, was you guys misunderstood in the beginning? What's your message? What you guys were trying to do?
Yeah, I mean, in numerous ways too, because first of all, there wasn't any huge acts in hip hop from the South. So, you know, and I'm not including Miami because, you know, Luke Skywalker and his whole 2 Live crew, that's the South, but that's the coast. And so it's just a sort of different energy altogether. But back in those days, it was mainly East and West Coast. So there was nothing really bubbling from Atlanta that was worldwide renowned. And
what time frame was this speech? About 1990?
No, this was like from 87 to 91, somewhere in there. And at that time period, not only was the sound different, but the idea that a hip hop group could break from the South was a very different idea as well. So, yeah, I think a lot of labels were afraid. We got a single deal, and it was for Mr. Wendell on the A side, and the B side was Natural. And yeah, I want to say it was Natural. Yeah, it was. And so we got a single deal. To give you an idea of what the advance was, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was probably around $10,000 or $12,000, something like that.
Kind of like the In Vogue situation. The girls, because In Vogue came on here too. They got about, seemed like that's the standard. It seemed like 10 to 12,000 for everyone back in the day.
Yeah, and it wasn't a lot of money, especially when you consider that you have to record the record. So we had to pay for the recording from that. I'm the producer and writer of the material, so thank God I didn't have to like pay a producer to do it per se. You know, say I just pay myself. But we went into I think it was Bosstown, which was Bobby Brown's studio at the time, and recorded Mr. Wendell and I recorded Natural in Milwaukee at a studio. I went to college at the time we got the single deal. I was in college at UWM, which is University of Wisconsin Milwaukee, and so I used their studio to do Natural. So that was our first sort of deal, and I say it in quotes because it wasn't a album deal; it was just a single deal. And then we got an album deal soon after. And that was a whole story in and of itself. Yeah. But
the crazy hindsight about the whole thing was, I like Mr. Wendell. Mr. Wendell. I've been not singing because you might want to check for me, so I don't got money. I've been not singing the whole thing. I'll let you sing it. But Mr. Wendell, it's a cool vibe. I heard that was supposed to be the first single. They wanted that to drop that first. Am I right?
That's right. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a cool vibe. So take me Tennessee. It seemed like it was more of though I hate talking about death and stuff, like a eulogy, so to speak.
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah. Because in Tennessee was okay, so when we finally got the record deal, like an album deal, we recorded the entire record at a place called Tracks 32 in Wisconsin, right? And we did that because I was in Wisconsin at the time and I had a relationship with this studio and they were a great studio and we recorded the album there. During that time period, my grandmother passed away and the same week my brother passed.
Wow.
And so the last place I saw both of them was in Tennessee, which is where my grandmother lived. And it's also my brother went to her funeral. So he would die the same week as her, but the last place I saw him was at the funeral. So the last place I saw him was Tennessee. I wrote the song Tennessee with Airly Tari, one of the members of AD. And then, you know, I was in such a distraught, like crazy place at the time that I insisted that the label put that record out first. And they agreed. They loved the record as much as I did. I thought it was a brilliant record. I thought it was groundbreaking. And I felt like it was different than anything in hip hop that I had heard at the time. So I was like, let's put this out first. They agreed with that. We shot the video, and so it was Love, and that ended up being our first single, and it did extremely well.
Extremely.
Yes.
It was popping. Doing extremely well. You better
Yes.
Yeah. It was popping without a question. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, without a doubt.
For those who made this our tribute to the 90s, we definitely got the Grammy Award winning multi-platinum. I'd say one name, Speech. I don't even say Arrested Development, just say Speech. Only one name pops up. That's
one
it.
Name. Yeah.
Just one name. So the single jumped off Tennessee before the neo soul, before the aphrodisiac thing, and you guys really brought it to life. All the girls in their shadikis and the guys wearing skirts. I mean, this is for real. Which I'm giving you the ultimate compliment. Like seriously, just being a trailblazer when everyone back in the day wearing clothes 9 size too big.
Well, I mean, I will say this: we had an elder in our group.
Okay.
We wore dashikis, we wore head wraps, we wore, what's called like jokies, like which is basically a dress type of thing. It's African style, like pants or whatever. And it's like our thing was we wanted to bring that African culture, that African spirituality, and African diaspora energy to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And bring more of it to hip hop. I mean, it was already aspects of it going on, but we wanted to bring more and more of that to the hip hop industry.
Nice.
That was a good choice.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very good choice. Speech. Yeah. What I want to know, multi-platinum success, touring all over the world. You're a writer. You're a producer. You're in Japan because you guys are like the Beatles in Japan. Very, very, very relevant. With that being said, you're the main front man of the group. So how's the money situation for you back then? You was doing well, or was it recoup money? We're friends now. Speech. Let's talk.
Well, it was interesting because first of all, it's your first album, and so by nature your deals aren't very great. You don't have a lot of leverage when you're a new artist. Your leverage is pretty small, and back in those days, especially. And hip hop deals weren't nearly as big as they became, by the time of Jay-Z and that whole era. So, but as a writer and a producer, I mean, I got more money than everybody else because I wrote the songs and I produced the songs. So usually when you write a record, you might have a rhymer and they might have written the rhymes, and then you got a beat maker and he produced the stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he produced the music, whereas for me, I did all of those things. Okay. So, yeah. So as far as the lion's share of money, of course, I was getting that, and then, then of course the group members. So, yeah.
You talk about groups. I mean, that's a nice word to say. Best development. I see 40 people. How many official members are there in Arrested Development? Like during that time, because it seems like you can't get that money. Seems like y'all only getting 9 cents or $9 a piece lunch money. So
exactly, yeah.
So how many official members? I mean, like back then, like 5, 6, 7,
6.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 6. It was me, headliner, Ishi, Airly Tari, Razadon, and Baba OJ. And then we had Dion Ferris as a guest. She wasn't a member of the group, but she was a guest with the group from that first single, Tennessee, on out. She was on 3 songs, I believe, on 3 Years, 5 Months, 2 Days album, which is our debut.
I'm gonna get to Dion a little bit later. I'm gonna get to her a little bit later. So you didn't answer my question. How are you? Your money was good because was it promotional tours or was it like touring where you actually get touring? So basically, you guys are doing well.
Yeah, doing very well. I mean, for a first album, compared to where we were prior to this music, it was all relative. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Were we doing well compared to like Jay-Z or something nowadays? No, we were broke. But compared to where we were prior to the record deal, yeah, I mean, great. And tour wise, we were doing promo tours first.
Yeah,
and those were just free. You don't make money from those. The label actually charges you for that in your in your budget. So, but you don't make money from it. You just, you get money to eat, you know what I mean? And they pay for your hotels and travel and stuff like that. So yeah, but then we started, doing real tours as the singles were starting to shoot up the charts, and we started getting paid for shows and stuff like that.
Nice. So you're a young dude at the time, very, very young. A lot of success. Sometimes, don't take this wrong way, your head gets a little big.
True.
I've been 21 before, not too long ago, but no, you get success, and sometimes you really don't appreciate it. You think this is gonna last forever. You know exactly what I'm talking about, Speed.
Facts. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Because I've been there. Give me an example of an artist, not necessarily you, that really that we might know, that called you out. That really just called you out on your SHIT. Let's say
I don't know any. I don't know any per se, but I do know that I fronted on 2 artists that I'm ashamed that I fronted on. So like, Carlos Santana reached out to me, and I played it like he wasn't who he was. You know what I'm saying? And I was too big-headed to understand how much of an honor that was. And then also, Patrice Rushen reached out to me during that time period. And I played
Forget Me Not and all that.
Forget Me Nots, and in a consummate like composer, doing television and movies and all of that. And I just didn't. I played her like she wasn't who she was, and it was stupid. And I was just in a zone, thinking too highly of myself. So those are 2 people. I can't think of any artists that call me out that I can think of, but maybe So
okay. Who have you worked with that was a little difficult? That they called you difficult? That who have you? Because you've seen a lot, you've been around, you toured the globe. Who are some artists or celebrities that? Because if you tell me one, I'll tell you one. Give me a person. Look, we're friends now. Who was difficult working with, or you just had a moment where you idolized someone, you had a great appreciation for, and they weren't who they supposed to be? It's like, dad, you guys were really difficult. I didn't think you was gonna be like that. Like who?
I mean, there was numerous people like that. I mean, to be honest with you,
please,
most of the big artists that I've ever met. So if I looked at a pie chart, I'd say 80% of the artists that I've met, it was disappointing to meet them in person.
Okay.
Oh.
80%. Now 20% were inspiring and great to meet in person.
Well, give me one name, please.
James Brown was one that when I toured, and I mentioned him on the Don't Fight Your Demons album. I toured with James Brown later in his life. We toured Japan together, and we did shows together in America too. And he was difficult to relate to because he had rules that he didn't express what the rules were before you met him and before you talked to him. So, but he expected you to abide by certain rules. So one of the rules was one morning we were in a hotel in somewhere in Japan, and I woke up and he came downstairs to the lobby. I was downstairs in the lobby, and I was like, "What's up, Brother James?" "Good morning, Brother James," is what I said. And he went off on me because apparently, and he went off on me in front of everybody. Apparently, you were supposed to call him Mr. Brown, and I didn't know those rules. So, and if you didn't call him Mr. Brown, he felt you were disrespectful to him. So it was one of those situations. And so like that's just one scenario that I'm thinking of right now that I didn't like at all. And I wanted to go off on him actually, and I didn't because I have a deep belief in respecting your elders, but that was a tough one because I was embarrassed, and the lobby was probably about 50 people.
Wow.
And we've all had success in the industry, and I felt like that was wrong for him to go in on me like that. He could have easily corrected me and just said, I'd rather be called Mr. Brown, or I want people to address me as Mr. Brown, and I would have been like, oh, well, Mr. Brown, done.
So,
you know what I'm saying? But to go off of me was not called for.
Not called for at all. But I like you. I like you already. No,
Yes.
because we have a lot of people on our platform, And on Marty A. Johnson show, I call him out. I'm like, stars. I'm like, we stars too. I'm like, no, but I like you, Speech. Your energy is great. And
It really is.
I mean, for me too, I'll be honest with you. I never was very good at elevating people to like God-like status. So like for me, and I had a slight problem even with Prince at one point because everyone else knew, but I didn't know that if Prince summoned you or called you, you were supposed to drop everything and go to him. Now, don't get me wrong, Prince is my favorite artist ever, like ever. So I have a deep respect for Prince. But again, I don't go by the thought process that another flesh and blood person is a god for me. Like I may love their music and I may bow in like a jest of like humility towards them, but I don't actually bow like for real. Like there is no person that I respect that much. And I've met Nelson Mandela. I've met a lot of great people, all of which I deeply, deeply respect and they inspire me. But yeah, it's just not my thing. So like the Mr. Brown, I would have been glad to do it. But like I said, I didn't know the rules, at the time. And same thing with Prince, he had summoned me once to come to Minneapolis to hang. And I was in the middle of mastering this group that I was really, that was really important to me. And so I said I'd come as soon as I was finished. And that apparently was not the answer. That wasn't the correct answer.
Wow. Rumor has it, I know Prince sued you for $100,000. Am I right?
He did. He went on to sue me for 100 grand for the word Tennessee in our single Tennessee.
Wow.
Yep. He for me, back in the early 90s, late 80s, the laws of sampling weren't really concrete yet. Like everybody didn't really know how sampling works. So the rumor was that if you sample more than 3 or 4 seconds, you could get sued. Well, Tennessee wasn't 3 or 4 seconds. And then second of all, they said, well, it was heard. I was told that if you sample the melody of a song, you could get sued. Well, Tennessee wasn't a melody. So it was just a word, Tennessee. And it was from his Alphabet Street album and or song, I should say. So yeah, I mean, he sued me for 100 grand. At the time, I was upset because I was like, wow, it's $100,000 for a word. But later on, I got it. Like I've been in the industry now for long enough to know that was actually sort of a favor because the record was huge. It was making millions of dollars and not all coming to me, but how anyone probably knows that most of that money goes to the label, no matter who you are, especially as the early years of a career. But charged 100 grand. He could have asked for rights to the song. He could have asked for co-ownership of the song. He didn't do any of that. Everything. He could have took it off the shelf, but he didn't do that. So I applaud him. I got a chance to actually hang with Prince later, and we talked about all of that plus more, and it was all love. But yeah, at the time I was a little upset because I felt like he was sort of gouging me, you know what I mean, and gouging the group.
So Speech, check it out. Hold up. Let's go back to James Brown for a second.
No
y'all
doubt.
was on tour. So when y'all was on tour and that incident happened in the hotel,
yeah,
of course y'all had to still do the tour.
Yeah.
So how did that turn out? How did that turn out with you and Mr. Brown?
To be honest, so this is what I tend to do with people that I don't get their energy. I just stay away from them. So for the rest of the tour, and for the rest of the shows that I like, James Brown would come up to me, Mr. Brown would come up to me next time and be like, yo, what's up, Speech? And I'm just like, hey, it's good to see you, Mr. Brown. And that was it. I didn't want to talk because for me, I don't like to engage with people where the rules are unknown to me and I don't know what they're all about. Like, I just like it to be human to human. Like, let's just talk man to man, woman to man, or whatever the situation is.
Right.
Let's talk. And if I make a mistake, you can tell me, hey, bro, I'd rather this or whatever, but let's not, like I said, he went off on me that day. And that was a little much for me. I couldn't deal with that. I just didn't want to deal with it. So it's funny though. I mean, James Brown at the time had group members that was begging me to be in Arrested Development. And they was his group, like they were in his band. So I don't know what he was doing. I know he had a lot of different rules that he believed in, and I'm not dissing him. James Brown to me is one of the most prolific and talented artists ever to ever exist. I love his music. Hands down. And he has been one of the most influential artists in the history of hip hop music too.
Yes.
Right. That's right.
So I don't have a problem with his artistry. I just had a problem with him on a personal level. And that's what I was saying about the pie chart. Like, to me, none of the people that I have issues with on a personal level does that carry over to their artistry. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the artists that I admire, I still admire. Like, their artistry is unmatched in many instances. I just can't deal with the, when you meet them, it's a little bit of a letdown.
Absolutely.
It's the difference between personal and artistry. Definitely.
Facts.
Definitely.
Facts. It's two different things.
Absolutely. So look, I'm gonna move on from there. So you gave a lot of insight, because I was gonna ask you, because En Vogue's a friend of this show too, and I know you tour with them, and rumor has it them girls are all extra. Was this the En Vogue Funky Divas? En Vogue Funky Divas En Vogue you was touring with, or Cindy Terry and another girl?
It was Funky Divas. Now, En Vogue, they were class acts.
Okay.
But I will say this, and I say this to anybody starting off, because we were huge. We were hot at this point, but we weren't as huge as En Vogue. They had already been around for years, and we were opening for them. And I don't even know if this was En Vogue's decision or not, but what I'm saying is a lot of people were coming to see Arrested Development. Like, we were really hot in the United States at this time. But En Vogue, or their team, I should say, had us go on at 8 o'clock on the dot every night. And I'm not talking about 8:01, and I'm not talking about 7:59. The problem with that was a lot of times there wasn't a full house yet, and sometimes it was hardly anybody in the venue yet.
They knew.
Wow.
And so they would have us go on, and I say they, meaning I don't know who their machinery was, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it was embarrassing, because we would go on and do a 40-minute, or I forget how long our set was back then. This was in 91 or 92. And it would be like a halfway empty house. And by the end of our set, it would start to get packed. And a lot of fans were mad because they thought we were going on last. That's how big our records were at the time. Yeah. By this time, we had Tennessee as a hit. We had People Every Day as a hit, and maybe even Mr. Wendell as a hit. I'm not sure. But we was doing, like, our charts was #1 on the charts. I ain't talking about like we was in the top 50.
All of those were hits. Everything was a hit at that point.
Exactly. So it was like, so I say this to artists, like, look, you got to roll with sort of the punches of what it is to be an opening act. And at the same time, I wish they would have allowed the house to be packed for our show as well, because it would have made the fans happy. Like, it would have made me happy too, but I'm saying it would have made the fans happy too, because, if you could imagine going to a show, like I heard this happen with Common and Jill Scott one tour a while back, where if you're a fan of Jill Scott or Common and you go there and you go a little late because you're thinking, well, I'm really going to see Jill Scott, and you find out Jill was opening and you missed her entire show. That don't feel good to you if you're going out on a night at a town, you spend your money, you know what I'm saying, and you didn't even get to see the show that you wanted to see. So I feel like, for new artists, you got to be able to roll with the punches. That was a punch we had to roll with. But as tour promoters and people putting on great shows, I would hope that people would see the benefit, our promoters would see the benefit of holding the door a little longer, or holding the acts a little longer, let the DJ rock for a little longer, in order to make sure that the place is packed so people can get the show that they paid for. You know what I mean? So
also, I would like to say, also as an artist, for you guys, when you would step on the stage, knowing that your hits were as big as they were, and nobody was in the audience.
Facts.
As an artist, that would piss me off.
It did. It was. And again, I wasn't pissed at the sisters. So I want to make that clear, because, everybody has machinery. And especially when you get to that level, usually you're not the one like telling, the house people turn the lights down at 8 and make sure this act goes on. Like, usually it ain't going to be Terry and them saying that. You know what I mean? it's their road manager, it's their management, it's their record label, whoever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't blame that on them. And in fact, we did a show with them recently, and I say recently, maybe like 3 years ago here in Atlanta. We did a show with them, and it was all love. And I have no issues with those sisters, not even one issue, like nothing but love. They treated us like family when we were on that tour, you know, other than what I just described. But other than that, it was all love, you know.
Speech is really speaking to us and giving us some
Yes.
stuff like that.
Well, I tell you, it's because y'all do research. Like, I got to show that mutual respect. You show me the respect to do some research. I'll give you respect by sharing sharing the real truth. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what we like. And I like you coming in, not dancing around, but it didn't have to call you out.
Hey, Speech.
Yeah.
I was looking for the song you and Dale P had made, man, and I couldn't find it.
Oh, is it called Global Moves, or it's either called Global Moves? We did a song together with a brother named DJ Views, or it's Swing 'em, which is on Arrested Development's new album for the F and Love. And Swing 'em is me, Del P, Master Ace, and Fat Man Scoop, and of course Configure on the track. So it's crazy.
Shout out Configure. Shout out Del P.
Yeah. Philly's own Del P.
Absolutely,
yeah,
Southwest Philly.
Yeah.
So look, Speech. I'm right now. I feel I'm in a group situation with me and Lavelle Charlene and Official Raleigh Boy. Look, you're the front person. The people look at me as the front person, the leader of the pack. However, they don't get mad at me, but I'm gonna ask you. They might get mad at me because sometimes there comes a time with Speech where there's difficult conversations. When some people, you know exactly what I'm getting at. How do you gel on them situation where sometimes there's members of the team, like when Deion Ferris threw a chair at you, ready to pop off, taking her earrings off and Vaseline on her face, ready to fight you in Atlanta.
Facts.
This is for real.
Facts.
This is for real.
Yeah.
Oh, Speech, am I lying?
No, you are not, sir.
No,
No, you are not. Facts.
Sis was mad. I don't know the logistics of the story. Rumor has it. I do know she threw Vaseline on her face, took her earrings off and threw a chair at him.
I don't know if that part happened.
I'm exaggerating now, but
yeah, but I know the chair throwing and a whole lot of words from vocabularies that are foreign and unforeign was coming at me. No doubt about it.
No, with that being said, there's some people, I use them. Everyone plays a great part of the train.
Yeah. Facts.
When sometimes some people feel like, I'm just gonna say this, they may not get no airtime or something like that. How do you rectify those difficult conversations so nobody won't throw a chair at my car?
Well, I mean, I tell you what I learned from that situation.
Go ahead.
Was that you got to have a lot of communication, and a lot of times you need to have it one-on-one with the person that is beefing with you, or you have a beef with, one or the other, because we weren't talking a lot, and we were talking about each other and not to each other a lot. Okay. And so there was a lot of he say, she say going on. And, you got to realize too, and, I'm assuming nobody here is this young, but like we were 20, 21. The youngest member of the group was 16 at the time. Okay. Like, so Ishii was 16, Headliner and I was 20, 21, somewhere in there when that jumped off. So, we're young people, and I think we didn't know how to best address it and deal with it. And I also will say, to our credit, like at the same time we were 21 and having problems, we were first time ever getting money, first time ever having fame, first time learning the record industry, first time touring, first. So everything was new. So it was almost like being put into a whole nother dimension all at one time and trying to learn what the hell is happening. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's partially why we had those issues and couldn't resolve them. But I would say communication, man, it makes a big difference. Having those hard talks one-on-one and not group. I mean, you could have a group talk too, but sometimes you know how it is when you have a group, sometimes people might have a different opinion, but they may go with the majority of whatever everybody else is saying instead of one-on-one. You could you can figure out what the real issue is, you know, because everybody has different issues sometimes. And they just may, if they're in a group setting, they may go with the group issue instead of what their actual issue is. You know what I mean? And so sometimes you're not really resolving things and stuff starts to boil up and it gets crazy.
So y'all heard what the OG said. Y'all need to talk to me now. Don't try to ambush me. Y'all heard him. But no, let's get back to speech. So speech, this is during the transition of the second album. I'm sorry, the first album going in second album, where some people you gotta give some, I hate to say it, sometimes you gotta give people that reality card. From rumor has it, you gotta let people know, no, baby girl, you're not part of the group. You're an extra. If some people don't want to hear that conversation, well, speech, I'm something you probably didn't say it like that, but that's really what it is. Sometimes they get mad. I mean,
well,
go ahead.
If you're referring to Dion, the thing about Dion was that she always wanted to be a solo artist.
Okay.
She never wanted to be in Arrested Development. And so therefore she never was. But we did some things that some people will say is bad for a brand. And we were too naive or just too communal. Like, I'll say this about AD.
Go ahead.
The way I ran AD was very communal and like community oriented. Like, we're a family. That's how I ran it, right? But because of that, even though Dion wasn't in the group and she knew that, we knew that, we weren't confused about that. If we were doing a press run, we would invite her to everything. So we had her in all of the press. If we did an interview with MTV, she was on it. If we did a magazine cover, we would let her be right there with us. Because that was just how I ran things at the time. Now, people that know about branding know that that probably wasn't a great move because, number one, it confused the public as to who's in the group.
Yes.
Number two, it may have confused her. Even though we agreed as to what we were, when you're around somebody and doing all the same press and doing all the same work, we would go into community centers and the projects and speak to people. She was right there. So when you have that kind of dynamic going on a daily basis, it can get confusing. Exactly. Now, what's going on now? Am I part of the group or am I not? You know what I mean? So I think that it started to get a little wishy-washy as to what was Dion's role, you know, in the crew. I don't know if it did with her and I, but I think from the public's perspective, it definitely did. And by the time we did the second album and she wasn't on there, a lot of people were, you know, speculating as to why was that, you know what I'm saying? What happened with them? Did they break up or, you know, stuff like that?
Because back then, like I said, I was young. I was a little young and I was familiar with Arrested Development. I was pissed with you when I was 10, 12 years old. I was 13. I said, where's Dion at?
Yeah.
I like,
yeah.
Literally. I was like, they kicked it because people will assume she was a part of the group.
Facts.
Back then, I thought, and I was mad at you.
Yeah. No, I get you, bro. I get you. Well, I mean, let me say this. Dion is a, you know, she still is a true artist and a true beast of a vocalist. I mean, she really is a visionary. And that first album that she did on her own, you know what I'm saying? The Wild Seed, Wild Flower, I think it's called, or something like that.
Yeah.
Fantastic record. Like, just a beast of a record. You know what I'm saying? Randy Jackson from the, you know, American Idol fame.
Yeah.
Helped produce and write some of those tracks. She wrote most of that stuff. I mean, just a great artist, you know, so I have a lot of respect for her. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, but I get it. I get why people would miss her by the second album.
Well, what happened? Like, you guys had a lot of success on the big album. Is it because you were the producer? People left the group. What actually happened?
Well, I mean, a lot. One of the things that happened was there was a beef between me and Headliner as to who should get what. Okay. One of the things that we did that was interesting in the very beginnings of Arrested Development is, and it's hard to explain now, but basically me and Headliner were signed to the record deal and the rest of them were members for hire.
Got it.
The reason we did that is at the time we got the record deal, a lot of the members weren't in the group. So they were just people that was we were doing shows here and there, and we weren't signed to a deal at that time, and they were in the audience. We would invite them on stage, and it was this very almost like a Jamaican sound system type of energy where there was a DJ and rhymer, and then we would invite people on and off stage to do their little thing, and then they leave. That was what happened. And when we got a record deal, we didn't know who actually was real group members and who, like, we had to rush and try to figure out, well, who is Arrested Development?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And we didn't have the answer to that at the time. So me and Headliner went ahead and signed the deal. And then when we started to formulate who was Arrested Development, the rest of them ended up being band members for hire. So with that as the basis, it made things really, really wobbly as far as who should get paid points on a record, who should get paid as a group member, you know, and all of this type stuff started getting real tricky between me and Headliner, but also between the group members and all of that. So yeah.
Speech, you are really dropping some jewels, and I'm not calling them out. Sometimes we have our difficult conversations here. Sometimes on this little platform. Official Wild Boy been with me from day one. He been with me from day one. Lavelle and Charlene been following my movement for years and years, and they came on the platform. We're on season 5. Lavelle came during season 3 to 4, and Charlene the same way. But everyone plays a part. The moral of the story is consistency plays the key. Am I correct?
Facts. And, you know, I'll be honest, like, you know, I really wish the group would have had more patience. And I'm talking about all the group. Me too. So because it's our first album out. And so you're learning a lot of stuff. You know, like all of us we're at school. We're all at Music Industry 101 at this point. So if we would have had a chance to stay together without all the huge arguments and all of the fights and stuff, by album 2, we could have learned, renegotiated, and worked out some things. And by album 3 and 4, we would have kept learning and growing as a crew. But unfortunately, that's not how we played it. And like I said, we were young, you know what I mean? So, you know, youth has its advantages and it has its disadvantages.
You're absolutely right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Wow. I can write a book. Hold on. I'm coming to Atlanta this weekend. Do I need to get a sit down with you? Because I like you.
Yeah, that would be great.
Speech. I'm serious. Do I need to,
Speech. We're going to come through, Speech.
That would be great.
What are y'all coming to Atlanta for? What y'all got?
Okay, first off, we're coming. I'm working with another producer. Thursday. I'll be there tomorrow, but the team will be basically showtime is Thursday to Saturday. Thursday to Saturday. If I need to stay to Sunday to see you, I will.
Well, let's talk. We'll talk. We'll chop it up. We'll see what we can do.
Oh, okay. Speech. I like you already, but don't give me no Hollywood talk because you're on camera. The Bells, our viewership good. We got a nice viewership. Don't give me good talk for the show now.
Well, I said we'll chop it up. I'm not guaranteeing nothing. I'm just saying let's chop it up. We'll see what we can do.
We'll talk at that. But anyhow, back to the question at hand. You guys had a lot of success. You guys pretty much like a vocal. You was up, then it's down. Where do you really see the turning point? Because I see you drop. Arrested Development dropping albums, which I'm gonna get to a new album in just a second. And when you're working with Kane and all that, but you guys had the up and down. What made you want to just say, I'm gonna keep Arrested Development going, or you just trying to just go solo? Because you got the hits, you wrote them, you can perform by yourself and put me, Official Wild Boy, Charlene, and Lavelle, and we're Arrested Development. I'm just not doing the high notes. But no, what made you want to just keep it going? Like seriously, instead of just going solo.
Yeah, so I'll back up a little bit. Back in 1995, the group did stop, and we weren't recording for a while. And in '96, I released a solo album, and that sucked in the United States, but it blew the hell up in Japan. And when it blew up in Japan, I started going over there touring, and I started recording new solo records just for Japan. And then I was doing licensing deals where I would create the records, do the album covers, do all the press, do everything ready. And all they had to do was lease it for a few years or whatever, and they would release it. So Japan would license my albums from me, and all of those albums went to number either one, basically top 5. Like every one of my albums that I ever released went to top 5 in Japan. And then in 2000, because I released one album a year, so from 96 to 2000, I was releasing music that was doing extremely well in Asia. And in 2000, Ishii from Arrested Development, she was the one that said, yo, we have more work to do as a group. And I agreed. We had a meeting. Headliner decided not to be part of this particular reunion, and Airly Tari was sick. So between them two and Baba OJ so it was me, Baba OJ, and Ishii and Raz. We all decided to do an Arrested Development reunion record, which we released in Japan. It went to top 10. It did extremely well. We did a tour. In fact, it was the tour that I met James Brown. Okay. And so we started doing music that was charting again, but only in Japan, not in America. Then we started releasing stuff in Australia, throughout Europe, like Germany, Italy. All of that stuff started charting. And then we slowly made our way back to America. And when we finally started doing music in America, it wasn't received well here, but it was received well everywhere else. But it was like America was on a whole nother tip at the time. I think this was the sort of, I forget what you call it, like basically like the gold, like the CEO, you know, the mogul, private jets, you know, that whole type of era. And Arrested Development was more on like, you know, dig your hands in the dirt, children play with earth type of energy. And it was just different. You know what I mean? So it didn't go over well. So the last 2 albums we just did are like the trajectory is going this way again. It's going up. Right. So like Don't Fight Your Demons, we released in 2020 during the pandemic. And it was named Album of the Year by numerous magazines and is doing really well. And then our record we just released late last year, called For the Effing Love, is even doing better than Don't Fight Your Demons.
There's no, it's FKN.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's different. I like that.
Yeah.
How did Kane situation come about?
Kane and I are friends. We've done stuff together since KRS One asked us to do a tour together many years ago. And so we did that, and then we stayed in touch. I always had his number. I called him, asked him if he would jump on this record, which I wanted Kane. I mean, me and the producer Configure, we both are big fans of Big Daddy Kane. And, you know, I wanted Kane on this record called Vibe. It was, the music was perfect for him. It's smooth. The groove was tight. And we wanted Kane on there. And it took him about a month to get back to me, I want to believe. I think it was like a month. He finally got back and recorded his verse. It was crazy. Then we got him to Atlanta to record the video. That same night that he recorded the video, he had a show with Rakim, KRS One, Kwame, Kumo D. Really great hip hop show. And I jumped on the show with him that night and did Symphony. And, you know, we had a great time. So it was just the synergies all matched up. It's a great thing. Ooh. By the way, that record Vibe went #1 on the Canadian hip hop charts. I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago it was #1. And so, you know,
congratulations.
Another #1 record.
You're doing well.
Yes, congrats.
2022. Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
Look. Speech, I have a new game since it's our new season. I want look, and we're making a debut with you. We got a new game we're gonna do on the Marty John Show. But first, let me let Charlene ask her a question for speech. Go ahead, Charlene.
Come on, sis.
No, it's not really a question that I have. I appreciate a statement that you made, and you were saying that having patience.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's what I see with this group here for the Marty Johnson Show, because I know what caliber of show that we do have.
Yeah.
And I know that someone's going to appreciate what we do and what we bring.
Yep.
If we just have the patience,
yep,
we'll get to where we want to be.
I agree. And I just want to add to that, like,
Please.
you know, content is king. I don't know who came up with that phrase, but it's so true.
Mhm.
And as we move, was a lot of people in society move to the metaverse and to Web 3.0 and all this stuff. Content is going to always be king, and people will always look back
Mhm.
and need content from this era that we're presently living in. And so you guys make content.
Mhm.
And unfortunately for Black people, especially, we have this idea a lot of times that things are supposed to happen fast. And unfortunately, we give up very viable
Mhm.
mediums and content that we should not let go of, because if you just have patience, you'll realize that this content will be worth way more than you can imagine as time goes on.
Yes.
It's just like how we like to look back and look at old Soul Train episodes, or look at, you know, Unsung or various,
So
you know,
more than anything right now on Saturday mornings on the YouTube.
facts. And it's worth so much because people are very interested in past eras and certain eras of time. And so you guys are creating, and I can attest to this firsthand, you guys are creating quality content.
Thank you.
And it's valuable. So, you know, I feel like definitely persevere with the patience and work out whatever you got to work out, but persevere, because it's not every day, number one, that people come with great content. You know, a lot of times people come with fast food content. You know,
Yes.
when you're actually doing good research and good journalism, if you want to call it that, you know, it's like, man, persevere. It's worth it. Content is king.
Well, Marty A. Johnson Show is not going nowhere no time soon. No time soon. I'm gonna let Lavelle ask this question in a second. Here's what I wanted to ask you real quick. What made you say yes to us? Because I know you get a lot of requests. People want to talk to you. What made you say yes to us?
Yeah, honestly, I have my guys, you know, vet everybody out. You know what I mean? To see if it's even worth it. And I'm about to even take it to another level as I move forward. So what really it boiled down to was y'all had an audience and you had quality. So I was just like, okay, I'll do it. Because I mean, I don't like to waste my time with interviews, and I don't like to waste my time really, period. And so I was just like, yeah, this is real. And I'm actually really glad I did it.
I'm glad
we are too.
Yeah, because y'all, and I salute you. And I don't say this to everybody. You know, I really just feel like y'all got something special.
Thank you.
Well, we're talking behind the scenes. Maybe we can sit down in Atlanta. I'll take you out to. We'll take you out to eat. We'll sit down and chop it up for real.
Come on.
Look, my treat. Lavelle, what do you want to ask on speech?
I really didn't know where to start, man. Like Charlene said, you know, she had a statement. That's kind of where I'm at with it. It's just so much knowledge, and also just humbled by being able to, you know, ask a question. But my question is about impact, man. You guys had such a huge impact, and I think the biggest contrast between what you do and, you know, what the streets was talking about at the time is that you guys were just doing your own thing, and it really struck that nerve. Like today, the streets is still somewhat predominant in the market, and there is a big void. There is a huge void still. So just salute to y'all for still pushing. But would you say that there's definitely something missing now, similar to how it was back then when you guys came in and it's changed the game forever?
Well, first of all, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And I do. I feel like there's a lot missing, because I feel like, you know, Chuck D said back in the day that hip hop was Black people's CNN, right? And I'm paraphrasing. And I agree that it should be that. And hip hop is, in my opinion, our biggest export as Black people, Black Americans, African Americans. We export it throughout the planet. It's bigger than sports. It's bigger than anything else that we've invented, to my knowledge, and that we continue to invent and continue to create. And so I feel like it's a powerful entity for us. And I did a documentary called The Nigga Factory that's on YouTube. It's a 3-part documentary. And I explained in this documentary the 400-year marketing campaign that was started by white supremacists, that was created in order to crush our image as Black people, not only to ourselves, but to all the rest of the world as well, so that we would be marginalized, we would be separated, and not worked with on world issues and on just social realities within the United States as well. So like, so I talk about how the hip hop industry has been hijacked by these same white supremacist ideas and philosophies, where they magnify a lot of the most ignorant realities among us as a people, and they squash a lot of the most progressive, revolutionary images and concepts among us.
Yes.
I've seen that happen more and more as corporations consolidate more and more. So unfortunately, the music industry doesn't have as many voices as it used to have. Like back in the day, in the late 80s, early 90s, you had a music lover and activist in every city that was breaking new records all the time. And then it would break in that city, then it would break in that region, and then nationwide it would take off. Nowadays, you got radio stations that have, and this is no diss to this group of people, but it has white people running hip hop playlists, and they're deciding for hundreds of stations all at one time what all of those stations are going to play. And the playlist just goes over and over again, and it just is sad
whack.
because
That's whack. That's real whack.
and I talk about that in the Nigga Factory. All of these things are things that are changing the landscape of what our youth and us as adults are listening to. It changes the landscape of who we think we are.
Exactly.
And it definitely changes the landscape of who other people think we are.
Fish Robert, actually, because I'm gonna have him play this game, do his drop before I tell him bye. Fish Robert, what you gonna ask Speech?
Speech.
Yo.
Peace, brother. All I want to say to Speech is, man, I was raised on your music. You did a lot in the game, and you really understand the game, the industry. And I'm just happy that y'all back making music together like y'all doing right now rapidly. I've seen it. I'm witnessing y'all right now create y'all music and magic. I'm waiting for it some more. So keep it coming, bro. I'm glad you back on the platform out here. Let these people know what it's about with Speech. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, man, for real.
That's what I want you to do, bro. Salute to you and the crew.
Thank you.
So look, before we tell Speech good night, we're gonna debut the new name with the OG here. It's called 1 2 3. 1 to 3.
Okay.
So the game's real easy. It's 1 2 3. I'm gonna list 3 things, and you list it from 1 to 3. The one you like the most, middle, and least.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I'm gonna give you an example. Charlene.
Yes.
1 2 3. You like to eat and all that stuff. If I gave you apples, bananas, and oranges, what would you pick? From 1 to 3. Apples, bananas,
Oranges, bananas, and apples.
Come on.
So
1 2 3.
This is the game.
1 2 3.
Lavelle likes to eat, definitely. Lavelle. Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's, or Bojangles.
Come on, AP.
Bojangles and Chick-fil-A.
Okay, what's the first one?
Zaxby's. He from the earlier era, so you know they go to Zaxby's first. He don't got that bobo grease in him like we did back then.
So y'all get the logistics of the game. Fish Roy Boy. Red, white, or blue?
Blue, red, and white.
Okay. So Speech, you got the game, right?
I think so. I think I got it. Yeah.
Okay. But but Marty Johnson has a little twist to it.
Ooh.
All right. So Speech, I know you're a big music connoisseur, you're a producer, hip hop head, you're very eclectic, which I definitely like about you. However, you get 3 calls all at the same time. They all want you in the same place. They don't want to do it virtual. From all 3 of these girls call you at the same time. They want you in the studio same day at the same time. If you have to rank them 1, 2, or 3, which one are you going to first? Foxy, Kim, or Eve?
Foxy. I mean, I'm sorry, Eve.
E first.
Yep, Eve first. Kim, Foxy.
Sorry, Foxy.
That part. Good
Sorry,
choice.
Foxy. So y'all like the game, right?
Good
You like
choice.
that, huh? I'm gonna give you a couple more. So I know you're big on hip hop. I'm gonna take you back to the old school, during the classic era. Kumo D, Rob Bass, or Tone Loc.
Ooh.
Kumo D, Rob Bass, Tone Loc.
Wow, man.
Yeah. And by the way, shout out to all of them. Kumo D is literally like my neighbor.
Yes.
Rob Bass, I toured with. I love him. Great guy. Shout out and rest in peace, Easy Rock. And then, and Tone Loc, we toured with him too, my dude. But yeah, I mean, in that order. Kumo D is like legend for me, like straight legend. So I'd have to go with him first.
Okay, speaking of legends, let me go down to my next list. Oh, I'm not gonna put them on the list. Busta, Missy, or Eminem.
Busta.
Okay.
That's tough.
You like this game?
I'd say Busta first, and then I'd say Eminem, and then I'd say Misty.
Ooh,
and that's tough. It's tough. I love Missy. I really do.
Missy would have everyone named Mama come out from the wings. You know that.
Yeah.
You know, Missy
but Busta for me, like Busta is just. I mean, I don't know. I just respect his rhyming ability and
yes,
so much. So, but I respect all three of them. You know what I'm saying? But Busta would be my number one choice.
Okay.
Yeah, Busta different.
Well, let me switch the game up for you real quick. Let me start with some of today's singers. Let me end it with the ladies. I start with ladies and end with the ladies.
It's always about the ladies.
Okay. All concerts at the same time. LMA, her or Jasmine Sullivan?
Ooh.
Jasmine Sullivan, her, LMA.
Yes.
You like that game? 1, 2, 3. You like that game?
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. It's great.
Look, guys, we got to switch it up a little bit. Official Rob Boy. Before we tell Speech goodnight, it's a tradition here. Tell him what to say. He has to do a drop for the show.
All right, check it out, Speech. You gotta do a drop for us one time, man. Just show us a little
couple
love.
Of times, give us options.
And it just show us a little love, Speech, and give us a drop. Just introduce who you are, what show you rocking with, which is the Marty A. Johnson Show. And when you say it, say with Marty A. Johnson and Official Raleigh Boy.
Oh, okay, word. Official Raleigh and Official Raleigh Boy.
Yeah.
Word up. This is your brother.
Okay. Pause. Okay. Wait till the screen goes big. Hold on. Look, I gotta give you the spotlight. Hold on. Let me get on my. All right. So hold on. You know I gotta make sure everything's right. We gotta give you your spotlight. So basically, you got the spotlight. Go 3, 2, 1, and go.
It's your brother's Speech from the crew Arrested Development. Right now, you're rocking with Marty A. Johnson Show and Official Raleigh Boy.
I actually like that. Give us another option, please.
Okay. This is your brother's Speech from the crew Arrested Development. Right now, you are watching Marty A. Johnson Show and Official Raleigh Boy.
Perfect. So look, what is next for Arrested Development? First, I want to say we appreciate everything you've done, and I'm so glad you went through that dark end. I really don't like talking about stuff like that. I'm glad you didn't end it all. I heard about that story that you was contemplating something crazy.
Yeah, very true.
Well, King, I'm glad you're still here with us.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Call me anytime at the show if you ever think like that again. We can't have that.
Can't have it, man. I ain't going there no more. I say this. Yeah, that's real stuff. We got a world tour starting off really soon, actually, in about 2 weeks. And so, where are y'all at? Where are y'all based out of?
We're in the Carolinas.
Okay, so we're doing a world tour, and including the United States, but real soon we go off to Europe. We're doing all throughout the UK, throughout Germany, Paris, Spain, everywhere. And we come back here, we're doing the whole East Coast. We're doing the South. So be looking out, because it's like our website is arresteddevelopmentmusic.com.
Okay.
And we got tons of shows coming up this year because it's for the first time in 2 years that things are opening up. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a lot of shows. And then we're dropping our new video, Yes Always, featuring D1, coming up in about a week or two. And we also, that's really the main things. We got this tour jumping off, and we got this new single, Yes Always, featuring D1.
That's enough right there. Yeah, look, keep you busy. That's a wonderful thing. Plus, you need to recoup some of this money from 2 years. You got to get back to work. So, no, but all serious aside, we definitely appreciate you here, King Light.
Thank y'all. Thank you.
Yes, we do.
And I'm 100% for real. I'm gonna tell my peoples for real. If I need to email me my direct number, we can make something happen. Tell me what you like to eat. We can chop it up.
Yeah, let's chop it up. So let's see what we can make happen. And thank y'all for rocking with me tonight. It was good. Good vibes.
We enjoyed
Peace.
Stay.
Hey.
Can I tell you something?
What?
Can I tell you something, y'all?
What?
That was excellent.
It was.
Everything.
It was.
Speech is dope.
That was
dope.
Shout out Speech.
Sean, what do you think about Speech?
I've always loved just how he thought. You know what I'm saying? His vibe. He's just different. You know, and that just showed tonight on the show. You know, he just has an amazing vibe about him.
Yeah,
I agree.
Cool dude. Really
Very cool dude.
He come from that cloth, though. He come from that era.
Mm-hmm. Lavelle, you know we're reaching out to him for this week. You know that. You know we're going to reach out to him. That's definitely.
Right. New artist.
Seems like we can talk to him all day. He hit every truth that we wanted to know.
Yes, and that's another thing that I love too, Marty.
Go ahead.
Because whatever questions you asked, you know, he answered. Mm-hmm. You know, and it was a really informative interview.
He was very forthcoming. He wasn't my bad. He was very forthcoming. He wasn't showing no airs. He really wanted to tell it. I'm so glad. And we really appreciate people like that. Look, those are type of people that we have.
Shout out to Speech, man.
Yes, most definitely.
Ooh.
That's probably one of my right there, to be honest with you, Marty.
What'd you say?
That's probably gonna be one of my favorites right there.
It's actually one of mine. Like,
I guess it's one for all of us then.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh no, I really enjoyed him, and woo,
boom.
So to remind y'all, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as this show's over, I'm putting this on YouTube immediately.
Let's go.
That's gonna be. But before we're not leaving yet. We're still gonna tap. We're still gonna tap in for a little bit. I need to end it off on a high note, really. But
I really do. High note only, Martin. Pick and choose right.
You're probably gonna say about 15 more.
All
minutes.
emails ain't good emails.
Charlene, we need to send the music too, please.
Send your music to MartyAJohnson4@gmail.com. That's MartyAJohnson4@gmail.com.
Lavelle, what kind of music are we looking for?
First off, make sure it's your latest material. We don't really care if it's jazz, tap, or reggae, man. Just make sure it's your greatest and not your latest, please. MartyJohnson.com. Send it on through.
Please. Official Rob Boy. Can it be hip hop, R&B, electric dance music?
Yes.
Anything.
No, anything. No latest though. No latest. Only the greatest. Only the greatest.
We say that all the time, but people clearly don't.
OTG. OTG. That's how they talk. OTG. If you know that. OTG.
Official Rob Boy. That's your social media right there. I think I can end this somehow. Let me do a couple more things.
That's my social media, y'all. That's my social media. Come follow me, man. Take a ride with Raleigh Boy.
Ooh, Lavelle, what's yours?
Right at the bottom of the screen, Boom Sound Lavelle. Type that in on IG. Go.
Charlene, what's yours?
Charlene_Monet.
Ooh, this was wonderful.
Don't forget Candylicious Dreams. What is it? Candylicious Dreams.
And Candylicious Dreams.
Yeah, I'm telling you. That's what that is.
Thanks, Raleigh Boy.
Candylicious.
Look, she forgot all about that. So next week, you know what's coming next week? But first off, I want to tell y'all, if your artist want like an individual conversation with us, you gotta hit me in a DM, like for real.
Straight up, don't hesitate with that DM.
I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Who?
Next week.
Oh, you can't pronounce her name? Oh, well, remember, this is the new season. Charlene, it's Charlene, how about this? How about I just show you? We got visuals here.
Okay. Show me.
Charlene,
Run a clip, bro.
Yes.
This Tuesday. What, wrong one.
That ain't the clip.
We're live. That's not it. Sorry. Look, because they haven't seen this either. Remember, go to MartyAJohnson.com for all up-to-date information. And matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna play that last. Let's do one tap in real quick. We're gonna end this on a high note. If you want to be a guest on the show, go to MartyAJohnson.com. Like for real. Like,
yes.
for real. Let's tap in one more time. Unless someone wows me at the last minute. It's okay to end it on a high note, like seriously.
Yes.
I hope you don't pick nothing ratchet, bro.
I know, right?
I hope you don't pick nothing go crazy.
We gonna so I'm scared. We never tap
We need some top tier. We need a female.
That's exactly what we're gonna do.
I'm safe going to the female.
Hold on.
I don't know.
We're gonna keep it in that same round. Okay, y'all ready?
All right, come on.
What's up, Jill Scott? It's the Marty A. Johnson Show. Along with the Fisher Rod Boy and Lavelle and Charlene. Queen, you're doing a wonderful work out here. Just tap on into the Marty A. Johnson Show because you are a legend. Definitely. Charlene.
Yes.
We have the Orange Soul. The Orange Soul.
Orange Soul.
Orange Soul.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's a group. They are doing their rendition of Golden. Living in life like this golden. Living in life is golden.
Okay. You gotta bring it now. You gotta bring it with this.
Let's set it up.
For sure.
This song right here is like you can't mess with this song.
Let's just set this up. Living in life like it's golden.
That's my joint, Marty. That's my joint now.
Lavelle, if we're not feeling Orange Soul, what's gonna happen?
Ooh, I'm about to get it cut.
Cut it all the way out of here.
Feel the orange.
Come on, y'all. Let's go.
Fish Robert, we don't hear this till when?
Right now, Marty. I had the Matrix hand. Let's go.
No, I'm actually 100% praying for y'all. I'm 100% praying. See, I get it set up right, but it's all called editing. Tap in, come on.
I'm taking my freedom, putting it off the shelf, putting it on my chain, wear it around my neck. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car. Wherever I choose to go, it will take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's golden.
Charlene.
Living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's golden. I'm holding on to my freedom, can't take it from me. See, I was born into it, it comes naturally. I'm strong in my own freedom, being the God in me, representing His glory. I hope He's proud of me. Living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life.
We're on the line of scrimmage right now, boy. She tight. It's tight right now, boy.
Living my life like it's special,
Turn the bridge.
like it matters to me. Living my life like it matters. Woo! Living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's golden.
Man, cut that shit, Marty. That's enough. Cut the shit. Cut the shit, Marty. Cut the shit, Marty. Don't do that shit, Marty. Top tier only. Top tier only. Cut that shit.
I'm with Raleigh boy.
Cut that
I'm
shit.
with Raleigh boy.
Cut
You
it.
made it.
Top
We
tier
get it.
only.
Rich brother, what happened?
I can sing like that. You ready?
Sing. Do
I'm not ready.
it.
I'm just trying to see how much confidence you had in her. That okay. So I'm by myself on this cut. I see. I don't
No,
know,
you're not.
Marty 3/4 of the way.
No, I cut it too.
Okay.
So no,
Okay.
it ain't you.
Oh, when did she lose you on the bridge?
Yes.
She lost me. Yeah. She lost me right there.
Yes. Because in the beginning, you know, she was making it her own.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when
Yeah.
she got to that bridge, she lost me. It went left.
She couldn't cross it. She couldn't.
Then
Cross
was
it.
it too big for her?
She fell off the bridge.
Yeah, she fell off.
I didn't think it would be, but as it progressed, why is it always the progression of the track that just makes it obvious that it's just not put off?
You can't deliver when it's time to take it somewhere.
Yeah. You gotta follow.
Shouldn't be doing.
She didn't follow through. Next.
In the meantime, Miss Scott, please tap all the way in. In case you don't know, remember, this is Marty A. Johnson show.
Yes.
We love you, Jill.
No, Jill was not Jill. Speech was everything.
Yes.
Speech was dope.
He was shocked when talking about Anthony Hamilton was here. He was like, "Oh, let me be quiet." No, it was. He was.
That's the family.
No, he was great. I just want to just let y'all know about next week. It's loading up. It's live, so anything happens. So work with me here. Remember, MartyAJohnson.com for all up-to-date information. We definitely appreciate it. Follow the Bell, Charlene, and Official Rod Boy. Oh, we are going to Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
Hey, that's around the corner.
Yeah, I got a pack.
Yay.
I'm so late. I got a pack. I haven't even packed yet. Okay. No, I had to pack. My Martin didn't even pack yet. Charlene, you pack?
I was about to ask.
Sure am.
I hope so. Okay, let me give y'all a little clip for next week. Y'all like the new stuff?
Love it. Love it.
Let me see if this get y'all excited for next week.
Tuesday on the Marty A. Johnson Show. It's our tribute to the 90s, the Legends Edition. This week on the show, we got something special for the ladies and the gentlemen. Remember the female rapper Soleil? Of course you do. She brought you style, grace, elegance, talent, and don't forget about those bars. She's going to join us here on the show. We want to catch up with her. We want to talk music, her take on the industry today, and much more. So join us Tuesday, 7:30 on Facebook Live. It's the Marty A. Johnson Show. Our new season, the tribute to the 90s, the Legends Edition, with our special guest, Soleil. I'll see you there.
Y'all like that?
Yes.
Y'all like that? Did y'all like that?
Yes. Love it.
It's a new season. It's top tier. So Pookie, how about you try doing that?
Tap all the way in.
In the meantime, we want to thank Speech so much for rocking with us. And this will be on YouTube tonight at midnight. So remember, we'll see y'all next weekend. If you're in Atlanta, Georgia, hit us all up. We will all be there. So remember, good night, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Boom, boom, boom.